Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Victoria and welcome to Pembroke Beauty. Today I have done my final, probably Halloween makeup look for you, and obviously I am a zombie. So I suppose that this could go kind of zombie, kind of if you wanted to add like fangs and blood, you could probably pull this off as a vampire if you wanted. I was going for zombie. This is the finished look, and if you want to see how to get it, it's not very hard. So go ahead and keep on watching. So I first start out going in with my Yes to Carrots moisturizer and put this all over my face, and actually I put it on my neck and chest as well because, as you can probably see from the beginning of this makeup tutorial, I have a lot of makeup on my chest as well as my face. Do you like my little horns? I got them from Walmart and they're really cute. And then I go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Porcelain, and actually if you have a white concealer it would probably be better to do that. Also, since I put this all over my face, it would be probably ideal to use a foundation, but I don't have any, so I'm using a concealer all over my face, so just make do with what you have. But I basically put this everywhere. I'm going to put it a little bit on my neck a little bit later and on my chest as well. But I will just go in and blend this in with my fingers. If you want to use a beauty blender or a brush, you totally could do that as well. It's just whatever your preference is. Then I go in and set my face with the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder on this Morphe Beautiful in Bronze brush. And I am just taking this all over my face, all over my chest, all over my neck. I want to make sure that there is no damp parts of my face or anything like that. That I have a really even dry base to do everything on, because I'm going to put a lot of shadow a lot of places and I don't want anything to stick and be weird. Then I'm going in with my favorite palette from BH Cosmetics. I love this palette. It is the Zodiac palette, and I'm going in with this Real Techniques brush. I believe it's 301. And I'm going into the charcoal gray color in this palette. It's just a matte charcoal gray. And I'm using this pretty much to contour, and I'm using this contour brush because I wanted it to be very sharp. I'm also putting it on my forehead because I want to make myself look dead, as a zombie would, and I'm just going to use the shade in this brush to really blend that in and build it up to the intensity that I want. I'm also going to take a fair amount of this and put it underneath of my chin here in a minute. As you can see, I'm placing this under my chin now, and I'm going to kind of drag it down my neck. I'm also going to put it on the sides of my nose, kind of contour my nose, and right on the inner part of where my nose meets my eyes. I want to put it there, and right under my lip too, and really make that like very discolored, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to continue to blend and add and blend as I need. Sticking with that same brush, I'm now going into the matte olive green shade, and if you don't have a shade like this, it's fine. I'm just pretty much going to do the same exact thing that I just did and really expand that because I want it to kind of look like decay, which is gross, but I want it to look like I'm decaying kind of, and like dirt and whatever, you know. So you can use a brown if you want. I wouldn't go for anything too warm. I would definitely go for those cooler sagey tones, because that's definitely going to make you look more dead-ish. So I'm just putting this around my temples again, and around my nose and under my lip. And I'm actually now taking it into the hollows of my collarbone, so like on the sides, and then I'm going to put it, this is just with like what's left over on my brush. I didn't want to make it too intense yet. And I'm just going in like right where the hollow of my throat is, and I'm dragging it up along like where my windpipe is. I'm not doing a great job describing it, but you see what I'm doing. I'm kind of making a V up underneath of my chin. Then I'm going to go into the more warmish toned purple on this more focused, smaller brush. And I'm just pretty much doing those exact same steps. I'm focusing the majority of the color on the deepest part, like on the very inner portion, right in there. I don't know how to describe it, but you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're kind of contouring and making that look really, really deep and inset. So I'm doing the same thing on the sides of my collarbone as well, really pushing it into the like inner crevice and really blending it out and making it as blown out as possible, because I do want this to look semi-natural, even though it's kind of hard. Then I'm going to put this a little bit where I kind of contoured, because I wanted it to be, it was a little bit more purple than I anticipated, so I kind of wanted it to be even across the board, like on my face and on my neck, you know what I mean? So I'm placing this every single place that we already contoured. And I didn't put a lot more of this color on my brush because it's super, super pigmented. Then I'm taking this really small, well, it's not really, really small, but it's a smaller round top brush from the Morphe Beautiful and Bronze set. And I'm going into that charcoal gray and into that green shade that we used. And I'm really deepening up like the inner part of my neck and collarbone contour-ish. You see what I'm doing, but I'm really focusing that low and in that hollow, because I want it to look very, very deep set. And I think it added a lot of dimension. So yeah, pretty much whatever you have, whatever brush you have, even if you want to take it on your finger, it would probably work that way too. And just slowly blend that out, because you don't want it to be so dark on the outer portion. You want it to be really dark on the inner and blend out to softer. Then sticking with that brush, I'm just going straight into the olive green shade, and I kind of want to make this look like moss and kind of like extra decay, so I'm not blending this out very well. I'm kind of just like splotching on little spots here and there that I want to look like mossy and extra gross, if that makes sense. But this doesn't have to be very, very blended. Imagine, like, think of Beetlejuice, you know? And this could actually kind of double as a Beetlejuice tutorial if you really wanted it to be like that. Just change up some of the colors, and I really, really focus this underneath my lips, because I wanted my lip to look really, really different to how it usually looks. And I think it ended up looking pretty cool. So again, just contouring with this a little bit because I wanted to deepen up that contour, but just kind of be messy with it. Again, going into the green and the gray, I'm now taking that brush and putting that all along my eyebrows, because I wanted to make it deeper and not as warm as my normal eyebrows, because, you know, my hair's red, so. But I'm pushing this all over my eyebrows, and then I'm going in with my normal NYX Chocolate Brow Mascara and just making those brows like really fluffy. Then I'm going in with the big fluffy brush from the Morphe Beautiful and Bronze set, and I'm going into the light brown transition shade, and I'm really just blowing this out all over the place on my eyes. As you can see here, I'm about to go underneath my eyes, and I'm pretty much going to make a big frickin' circle around my eye with this shadow because I don't care how deep it goes because we're supposed to look dead, so we're going to get a little wild here. So I'm just really dragging it out, pulling it into like my eye socket all the way in, and just really making this really messy. Then going in with the Elizabeth Mott blending brush, which is just a smaller version of the brush we just used, I'm going into the deep chocolate brown and into the green shade. And I'm just going to focus this more on my inner eye and dragging it around through the crease all the way up. I'm focusing this mostly on the inner part of my eye because I want it to look very, very sunken and dead, zombie-like. And this is pretty much the opposite of everything that you ever want to do with your makeup, unless you're doing something like this. So as you can see, just pulling it through windshield wiper motions and blending it out on the edges. I'm going to take a little bit more of that combination and drag it up underneath and pull it all the way through onto our like inner corner. As you can see, it's really, really coming together now. It's like really looking very, very gross. And pull it down. You can make it as unsymmetrical as possible because Lord knows if you've already been buried, you're not going to look that great. Again, pushing some of this underneath of my lip and kind of pulling it up along the corners of my mouth because I wanted it to look a little weird. Then I'm going into that warm purple shade again and into the deepest purple shade, which is slightly cooler. And I'm kind of retracing these steps. I wanted to add a little bit of different shadage, kind of like bruising, you know. And continuing on with this, again, as you can see, I'm kind of like making a big circle around my eye. That's pretty much exactly what you want to do. If you want to leave it as is, you totally can, but I'm going to go in with the Lottie London brush into the shade Cancer, and it's like a dark metallic blue, and I'm just going to sloppily place this all over my lid. If you want to just go in with a black, you can. Again, if you don't want to put anything there, you totally don't have to. You could just leave it as it was. Then I'm going into the shade up there. I think it's Sagittarius, and it's more of the olive green shimmer shade, and I'm just kind of like layering those two shades on top of each other really messily to add a little bit of dimension and to also kind of be a little bit more glamorous. Then I'm taking the same brush, going into the warm purple and into the olive green, and just kind of smudging that in the in-between to make it kind of look more seamless than it did. And doing the same thing on the lower lash line as well. Then I'm going in with this big blending Ojitos brush from Alamar Cosmetics, and I'm going into the orangey red shade, and I'm just dabbing this all over to kind of look like blood, in a sense. It's not definitely going to look like blood, but it kind of gives a different dimension to the look and can simulate that. So I put it around my lips, like on the one side, like I just like bit someone, you know, and a little bit just like all over the place, kind of like what we did with the green, to just add some detail. Again, it really doesn't have to be very, very focused anywhere. It can be very, very messy, and it really works with this, which is kind of the beauty of this look, is you can't really go wrong, you know? So if you want to stop here and you just want to add mascara or not, you totally can. I'm going to add a wing, so I'm using my NYX Liquid Matte Mascara. Wow, nope. NYX Matte Liquid Liner, sorry. And I'm doing a wing. Again, if you don't want to do this, totally don't have to. You can leave it as it was, or just add mascara and you are done. As you can see, I'm doing a wing and just pulling that around. I'm going to go in with this more flat, really definer brush into the black shadow and drag this along my lower lash line. I really want to make this really smoky and kind of grungy and gross. So I'm really dragging this right along the waterline and being really messy with it. It doesn't have to be precise by any means. Then I'm going in with the pencil brush from the More Beautiful and Bronze set with more of that black and really blending that down and out, making it look really, really blended and smudged. I'm also placing this a little bit on my lower lip just because why not? And I'm going in with a little bit of the red orangey shade again and blending all of that out a little bit more. If you want to wear red lipstick, you you totally could. If you want to add some fake blood, you absolutely could do that as well. It's kind of whatever you want to do. Again, this look is really just however. Then I'm going in with this e.l.f. brush and into the more white highlight shade, into the Capricorn shade, and into another silver shade. And I'm highlighting my lips and like my cheekbones a little bit. You don't have to do this, I just felt like why not. And I'm curling my lashes, and then I'm going to set everything off with the Starfire limited edition mascara, both top and bottom. If you want to add lashes, you totally could. I didn't, but you could if you want, however you want to do it. Then I'm going in with a little bit more of the orange and the deep red shade on my finger, and I'm just kind of placing this on the inner part of my mouth. I wanted it to be a little bit more defined than it was, really smudgy and intense. Then I'm taking the first brush we used, the big fluffy Morphe Beautiful bronze brush, smudging all of that around. Then I'm going to set my face with the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Spray. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below any suggestions you have for me, any desired tutorials, whatever you want to see, let me know. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you totally can. That would be really super cool. And again, if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to this channel if you did enjoy it, and hit the little bells to get notifications every single time that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I should go to the grocery store like this. Okay.